In 2015, the world's largest Bitcoin exchange had a problem. $850 million simply vanished. Bitfinex operated out of Hong Kong. It was the place where serious traders moved serious money. By 2014 and 2015, it had become synonymous with Bitcoin itself, the venue where price discovery happened, where whales moved markets. The exchange's story wasn't exceptional at first. It was competent, liquid, and trusted. Then, in August 2016, Bitfinex announced a hack, not a small one. Attackers had stolen approximately 120,000 Bitcoin. At the time, that was roughly $65 to $70 million. The exchange went offline, deposits froze, the market convulsed. Bitfinex's response was immediate. It announced a 36% haircut across all customer accounts. Everyone lost a third of their holdings, whether they'd been hacked or not. Then it did something unusual. It issued tokens, digital IOUs called BFX tokens, to represent the stolen funds. Customers could eventually trade these for reimbursement. But Bitfinex had another problem, one less visible. During the hack and recovery, the exchange needed liquidity. It needed cash. The standard story, the one told in forums and early journalism, was straightforward. Bitfinex borrowed money from a banking partner to cover losses and restore operations. This explanation held for years. It was plausible. Exchanges get hacked. Exchanges borrow to recover. The narrative didn't invite skepticism. But in 2019, a New York prosecutor filed a case that dismantled this story entirely. The investigation revealed that Bitfinex hadn't borrowed from a bank. It had borrowed from Tether, a cryptocurrency company closely tied to Bitfinex's own owners. And Tether, it turned out, hadn't loaned Bitfinex real money. It had created new Tether tokens out of thin air. Tether's entire premise rested on a claim. Each Tether token represented $1 held in a bank account. One token, $1, backed and auditable. The system depended on that promise being true. Without it, Tether was just numbers on a ledger. But here's where the case got specific. Prosecutors alleged that Bitfinex and Tether had moved approximately $700 million in Tether tokens to Bitfinex accounts. Bitfinex then used those tokens to purchase Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies on its own exchange. They'd created the appearance of organic demand. The implication was staggering. Tether had printed currency without backing. Bitfinex had used that currency to manipulate its own market. The price rises that traders attributed to genuine buying pressure might have been artificial, generated by tokens that represented nothing but code. Prosecutors also found that Bitfinex had made false statements to banks. It claimed to have legitimate banking relationships when it didn't. It misrepresented the nature of its business to financial institutions. These weren't accidents. They were deliberate mischaracterizations. The settlement came in February 2021. Bitfinex and Tether agreed to pay $5 million in fines. Neither party admitted wrongdoing, a standard formulation in such cases. But the case documents told a different story. They detailed a system designed to obscure the relationship between the two companies. What the investigation couldn't fully prove, what remains contested, is whether this manipulation actually moved the Bitcoin market significantly. Did Tether's tokens drive the 2017 bull run, or were they marginal? Academic research has gone both directions. The evidence suggests influence, not certainty. But the absence of certainty doesn't change what happened. Bitfinex borrowed from Tether. Tether created tokens without full backing. Bitfinex used those tokens to purchase assets on its own platform. The mechanics of market manipulation were present, whether or not their scale was massive. Tether still exists. As of 2024, it remains the dominant stablecoin in cryptocurrency markets. It's become more transparent about its reserves, though questions about the composition of those reserves persist. The company has been audited, but audits are limited in scope. Bitfinex also survived. It migrated to the Cayman Islands, then to El Salvador. Its market share declined, but it remained functional. The exchange that lost $850 million and allegedly manipulated markets continued operating. Accountability, when it came, was measured in millions, a rounding error for a platform that had moved billions. The Bitfinex case became a template. It showed how a cryptocurrency exchange and a stablecoin issuer could be structurally entangled. It demonstrated how digital money, created algorithmically, could be used to simulate demand. It exposed the gaps between crypto's libertarian ideals and its actual operations. Today, regulators worldwide have tightened stablecoin rules. Reserves must be audited. Issuer independence is required. But Tether remains large enough that its failure would ripple through crypto markets. The systemic risk it posed in 2016 and 2017 hasn't disappeared. It's evolved. The real lesson isn't about Bitcoin or blockchain. It's about what happens when opacity meets leverage. When a company can create money, lend it to itself, and use it to trade, the market isn't discovering price. It's being constructed, and the people buying are often buying on false signals. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Subscribe to catch the next deep dive. There's a new unsolved case in the crypto archives every week. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research.